Hello and welcome to our second losers bracket game in the Scrunchable Cadaver tournament. This game involves one of my regular hosts, Antman, so we have drafted in a worthy replacement. Say hello to Mr. Tilt.
Hello people, I am here and I'm going to be a lot more entertaining, I hope, because I am already half cut again. I seem to do all these casts while I'm drunk. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a recurring theme because I've felt the need to play catch up. So I might...
Well, it is a Friday night, so...
It is a Friday night and I may fall over and pass out in the vain attempt to catch up, but we'll see how we go. We have the entertainer back on scene. Mr. Antman is back in play. And
he's back in play, yeah.
He's against ZagZag.
He is. Now, ZagZag, from the last game we saw, he was missing out on a few of the key sort of skills that you need to play StarCraft. I mean, basic macro sort of skills. I'm thinking he's going to do much better this time, just because he is from part of Team Sayem, and he has got Advay helping him. And Advay certainly isn't a bad player, so I think this game could be a lot better, a lot higher sort of quality than the Fear and the ZagZag game.
Well, funny, the Fear ZagZag game, certainly Fear ended up maybe an easy winner, but ZagZag had his opportunities. Slightly failed Baneling bust that, if it come off, would have been an easy 1-0 victory, etc. So he definitely has some tricks out there to worry a Terran.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if he has been practicing, and I'm thinking he has, because I'm pretty sure I've seen him online 1 or 2 times. So I think this should be a pretty good series. I'm hoping it is anyway. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, we've got Antman and the ZagZag, zerg ZVT. And the first map we've got down as a Hana.
So it's a 2v2 map. Which,
yeah,
it's a 2v2 map, but there's plenty of. I always think it feels quite big when you're in it because the expansions are spread out so wide. There's the map's really divided in two, really through the middle.
It is, yeah, but I mean, it does feel very corridor-like because there's only really sort of 2 ways that you can go through the centre of the map. I mean, everything else on the outside are extra bases, so it's very sort of direct and you know, straight up to the front door of the opponent. And I'd say it's probably actually more of an advantage for Zerg on this map, just because they can get up to the enemy much quicker without having to worry about running around rocks and the rest of it. So well, yeah,
that is true. The big thing that will come if it draws out in any length, I do expect Antman to come through, because for me he's just got the better macro skills. But
yeah,
going from 2 bases to 3 bases, and this is the tricky bit. You can go out the front and leave yourself exposed, but if you go to the side, you have to take your rocks down.
Oh, it depends entirely on how each of these guys play. I mean, I'm sure Antman will go for his first expansion as soon as he can. But I mean, for Zerg, from a Zerg perspective, obviously he's going to go immediately for his first expansion, and then that's when it gets a bit iffy, because the third expansion, as you say, or sorry, the second expansion, third base, it's a lot easier for Terran to get, because you can throw up a planetary fortress, and that can defend from a lot.
It can do. So we'll go into the first game. I really don't know what to expect. Antman just said expect him to be his usual self. Maybe we might get our ghost Hellion rush again.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, his usual self, after the game I played with him a while ago, he certainly had improved a lot, and so I'm interested to see how he's going to do in this game, because he's certainly improved massively. Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. So if I switch over to game.
Yep, I'm in game and I'm ready to press play as and when you are.
Lovely. So I'll get the names up, and Bert, this is really fantastic for my colour blindness. But let's see. So we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, play. On faster.
And we're off.
Yep.
Yep.
We're faster, and I start in the bottom right with Antman in the purple.
Yep. He's got the bottom right position. There's not really too much to say, other than they've said good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Always
and
pleasant.
Then in the top left is ZagZag, Zerg, in a lovely blue.
He's in blue, but his creep is purple, which is why it could get a bit confusing.
So if the were the same race, I would have more problems. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So we'll see probably early doors exactly how they're going to set their stall out. Antman will probably, you would imagine, try and block off, so his first SCV's going out. And is he? Yes, he's going to start his wall off. And
immediate all off, yeah.
And the Overlord is going, actually, it looks to be going in a line straight for the top of Antman's base rather than scouting as natural, which I think is always funny. But what we didn't see the last time from ZagZag was that he hit his Overlords.
He did, yeah.
And he's getting them out now. So the benefits of
well, just having that early warning is fine. I mean, as soon as you see him getting attacked, you can immediately throw down another Overlord to cover it. But I mean, the information you can gain from them is just fantastic. If I had a moving supply depot, I'd be in heaven.
Well, that's exactly it. You've got to prepare. It's hard when I moved from playing from Terran all the time to Zerg to get away from the fact that your supply depots are so valuable as a Terran.
Oh, they are.
Whereas in a Zerg, you've got to treat your Overlords like disposable units. Use them as tools to scout, and then, you know, throw them away if and when they need me. So we've got a scout. It's going to arrive for Antman first up the ZagZag space. In fact, ZagZag isn't even scouting. He's going to use his Overlord to scout, and he's throwing down his expansion, which
straight away early expansion, which gives. I mean, Antman's immediately going to, as soon as he sees it, he's going to think, right, well, I can macro up a bit, or he might just go for early pressure. It is one of two ways, of course. That could be either. It could have been like that from the very start anyway, but he seems to have started right in the middle of the mineral, or stopped right in the middle of the mineral line. So I would attack that.
That's open invitation. Funny, I don't know whether Antman's seen, but the thing I would have been looking for with an early expansion was, oh, there is a dead SCD.
There we go. Yeah,
too
it's
much
down.
of a tease. Was spawn and pull down already? Was it hatch first was spawn and pull? ZagZag tried his best to get a spawn pulled down as quick as possible. He might have pulled it off. You'll never know.
That's right. Yeah, his spawn pulls just moments away. He's also getting a gas at the start. I'd probably think for roaches or something.
Go for Zerg along those lines. I would imagine. We'll see
the interesting thing here actually is Antman hasn't actually got any gas himself, which tells me pressure. I can imagine he's doing quite a bit of
600 minerals.
He is actually. That's really weird. I mean,
it's not like him at all.
You could throw down 4 barracks with that. I mean,
this is oh, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks. In fact.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest here. It's going to be early pressure because there's no gas from Antman at all. It's he's going to be going straight up the front doors, I think.
He is indeed. So let's see. ZagZag is getting 6 Zerglings down for early pressure himself. I would imagine he's taking a second gas. I think we'll see Banelings here.
I think so too, but on the other hand, he might get out there way before. I mean, I've got a funny feeling that Antman could hit a very nice timing here, where he's just got so many Marines that he couldn't lose. I mean, he hasn't gone for his expansion. He still hasn't got his gas. He got supply depots going down. I think it's going to be a lot of early aggression, and there's no Baneling nest yet though. So
there's not, but you know the biggest problem. ZagZag's Overlord spread is good, but he has nothing going through the centre of the map here. He's not going to see through the centre of the map, so by the time the Marines are on top of him...
Absolutely, he needs to put down at least 2 of them. I mean, he's got 6 Zerglings, he could throw 1 on either the...
Zelnagas. That would give him a chance to morph Banelings in if he's going to go that way.
Yeah.
He's doing a decent job of macro and floating an awful lot of money as well, which could be spending, especially since he's got 2 Queens out. I would float down a macro hatch if that was me. If I was floating the 300 minerals, because larva's always your biggest fear. In fact, he's going for a quick 3rd base. So he's been working on his macro quite a lot. But here comes the stream of Marines.
He has.
And we've got a bunker SCD with it.
Yeah, I think he's going to bunker himself up
the
there.
The SCD's down. Oh, ZagZag's in big trouble. He's in big trouble.
Yep, he's now pushing up the ramp.
It's 14 Zerglings. I know 14 Zerglings would probably be okay to take out 6 Marines, but there's a lot more.
There's still more streaming in, yeah. This could be really bad news for ZagZag. He's still got his other base building. I personally would have cancelled that and just gone straight into as many units as I can.
He's probably thinking that he needs the larva. That's going to be his problem here.
Yeah, those Zerglings aren't going to have a chance here. No.
He should be really good on trying to take out the main. There's 22 Zerglings coming here.
That should be interesting. But the more Marines that pour in, it's just going to be easier and easier for him to sort out. He's already taken down the natural. Admittedly, he has still got 3rd on the go, but I don't know. This is going to be
this is going to be right. Sandwiched here, which is no. There's just too many. There's just too many Marines. This is going to be 1-0.
I think this is going to be an early game win here, yeah. There's not really much ZagZag can do about this.
If he had managed to get that building nest up, you know, he actually, if he had managed to get it up even slightly earlier, he'd have cleaned up all his marines very, very easily.
Absolutely. I think one of the key points here, is the lack of scouting. If he knew that, if you could see that there was, you know, 5 barracks sitting in the main base, then you're going to be thinking immediately, let's get banelings out or whatever I can. Roaches would have been very good in this situation as well because there are only marines. He's now throwing everything he can at the marines to take him down. He's going to win the first fight, but he's down 2 bases. And now he seems to have put down his third in a bit of, well, his main base again, in a bit of a strange position off to the right. There we go.
Funny that he left the game there, to be honest, at the time. He had that third base up and running. Maybe no queen was his, larva was his biggest problem there.
He was hugely behind, I think that's the main problem.
Yeah.
I think he just realised, do the writings on the wall here, I can't come back.
If he managed to keep 2 bases up and fight off that attack, he might have been a business, because Ant would have run out of money sooner or later with that many barracks.
Well, on the other hand, he also had mules, so...
Well, that is true, but he'd run out of mineral patches. I think Ant was actually quite clever. He let his money build up in lieu of an Overlord Scout or something like that, to the point where he could throw down the 5 barracks at once.
Well, it works very well for the timing, but I mean, I personally just try to get whatever I can, whenever I can. On one base, I don't usually like to go above 4 barracks. Just because any more than that, and you can't actually expand or do anything else. Yeah, you have to cancel all of your SCV building, and it's basically all in. Whereas with 4, you can sort of slowly build up at the same time as attacking with a lot of heavy aggression.
Yeah, I suppose you're a bit like myself in that way, though. I would very, very rarely would play an all-in strategy.
That's it. I like to play straight up and just out macro my opponent. I like to get to the point where I can just take look, which is usually what I do anyway. But yeah. Which
is funny because I actually thought ZagZag did a good job of setting up for a macro game. He was getting
he was prepared for it. Yeah. I suppose, I mean, even with watching the replays of Antman, he didn't really show any cheese against me. So I suppose, yeah, that would probably be the best way to go. But on the other hand, he was going straight for his second expansion without actually scouting Antman that much at all, and that was the nail in the coffin. To be honest, he just needed to know what was going on before it came at him.
Interesting, but much like these more than one game sets that we have, where, you know, if you're playing a ladder game, etc., you know, you got one game, you put your best foot forward. In this one, there's an awful lot of more metagame in it, so you're setting up the other games by what you do in previous games.
Absolutely, yeah.
So ZagZag will have to prepare for the Marine Rush again.
Well, it depends though. I mean, he might overreact and think, I'm going to get cheesed every time here.
That's exactly it.
And if he goes into pure sort of immediate defence and then find out that Antman is actually going for a straight up game, it could work out horribly.
Well, what he should really do, I mean, if it was me and I get caught out in that, I'd be looking to get early gas for ling speed and for a couple of banelings, for a couple of defensive banelings, because literally 3 to 4 banelings would have dealt with that very, very easily and give him a big lead then.
No, that's it. I mean, it's the Marines alone, it would have been very easy to take them down. I mean, one of the things you need to do in this game, I'd say, is play a normal game to start with, and then, you know, get up your pool fairly early, send one Zergling over to the expansion. If you don't see anything by, say, the 5, 6, 7 minute mark,
if
there's nothing there,
then you're going to start concentrating on the fact there's no expansion. Get yourself prepared then, while still taking one base, and then see where you are from there. If he really wants to be cheeky, although, excuse me, if he really wants to be cheeky, he could throw down his expansion right outside the front door. If the other player's not taking it, just to keep a bit of pressure. Just even if it's not doing any great damage, don't even have to be mining off it or anything. It's just giving the appearance that you're right on top of your opponent all the time, and they feel that they have to start dropping out. Start doing that kind of thing, but that process takes a while to work in the head, and in which time you can really macro up and get ahead, get mutas out and be prepared for drops, etc.
Absolutely, and that, as you said, then muters. They are the bane of any Terran. Well, I say the bane. Obviously, banelings are even worse. But yeah, if you're not very good at multitasking and trying to cover more than two fronts at a time, then muters can really throw shivers down Terran spine.
That's exactly it. Because they're so much more mobile than the Terran army.
That's right. You only go in and do what you need to do, and that alone is enough to bring entire armies back to help defend it.
Absolutely.
And the effect is that you basically gain complete map control.
That's exactly it. And yet the feeling for a turn is that I'm very, very much hemmed in. So, game 2.
Yes.
Have you got it queued up?
I'm ready, and I'm sitting here ready to press play.
It's the most professional host I've ever worked with, I think.
As professional as a host can be, that's sitting here drinking a bottle of beer.
A bottle of beer. Right, so I'll switch over to the game, and we're in game 2. The map is Arid Plateau, I believe you called.
I think that's correct. Yes,
well,
it's a map I'm not very familiar with, actually.
I think we played 2v2s. I think on this game. I can't remember being a ladder map anytime recently. I could be maybe first couple of seasons, maybe.
It's a 1v1 map. It looks like an expansion of the 2v2 map that we've played quite a bit.
Yes, the Ohana one. It looks very like the way it's set up with the expansion, etc. Bit of a larger base.
Lot wider, yeah. So there's a lot more avenues to attack and areas to cover. So yeah, it should be interesting. We've got Antman in the top left this time, in the purple, and we've got in the bottom right we've got ZagZag as the blue zerg.
Okay, so we're ready to hit play.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, play. And
okay,
away we go. So, like I say, it is a 2-player map, and you know, maybe again slightly bigger 2-player map. It feels like in much of the not like a Shakur's Plateau or anything like that. So.
Well, yeah, I still call them 4v4 maps because there's the possibility of 4-leg spawn locations, but it is much bigger than the previous match, that's for sure. And because it's so much wider in the middle, you've got so much more you can go for expansions. You can try and get a sneaky one off in the top right or bottom left, and also there's the gold expansion to worry about, which is obviously a huge factor because you need to make sure you know exactly what's going on at them at all times.
Indeed. So, let's see. We've got the Overlord Scout going again from ZagZag, and he's going straight for the heart of the base again.
There's no reason not to do that.
Getting an early scout out. He's going for an early scout. He's going to try and get in here before it gets walled off, and he'll be quite successful in that.
Yeah, there's no way unless that man cuts SCVs and immediately throws down, both the supply depot and a barracks. Yeah, he's going to walk straight in, and he's going to make sure that nothing funky is going to happen. On the other hand, he could just create 2 Marines, kill this, and then obviously if he saves up all that money like he did last time. Although saying that, there is now a refinery, so I think we're for a much more straightforward game.
We are indeed, and Zag's done what I would have done in this pop as well. I mean, he hasn't seen anything so far in the base, and he's just going to hide him in the corner, hope that he hasn't seen her, make him waste time going to find him. And if
absolutely,
I mean, pop his head back out again, he might see a bit more in time.
If he can get it in his head to check at the 5-minute mark, or say 4-minute mark, what's going on in the base and what's near the front, etc., then I mean it's always worth doing that. If you know the enemy hasn't seen you when you're walking through the front, or I mean obviously that was a bit of a lucky call because might have seen it on his mini map, but I guess not.
Well, he might have done, but he hasn't. Maybe he's waiting on his Marine coming out. There's no real panic on it yet. But he go looking for him here, and oh yeah, he's going to find him now. There you go. He's been sitting there too long. But ZagZag, if he reacts here, can go for a little scout around the main. He can even take gas here and then pop out and see what he can see. See if another couple of barracks go down. But it didn't get that chance.
He got taken down by the...
Well, that's okay, but I mean, it was worth keeping the drone in there just to see what was going to happen.
It can work very well. It can work massively in his favour. He's going for a quick expansion again. I say quick. It's slightly slower than the last time. He did get his spawning pool out.
He was heads first. He was definitely heads first.
Yeah, he's only halfway through his spawning pool actually.
Yeah, so he's still got his macro game, and Ant's going to do the same thing. He's going to try and hide here.
That's right. Yeah.
Zag's just going to drone up. Zag's has got himself supply blocked.
Yeah, he's got an overlord sitting at Antman's third. I personally would have put it at the first. Just because I mean, he seems to have got the third and the fourth covered now by Overlords.
Well, he could use that Overlord for scouting for drops down the side, but really the one thing you want to get off your Overlord is expansion timing. And maybe he's thought that the expansion was at the front rather than at the side there when he sent it.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's happened, because it's all about expansion time, and if you know your opponent's only doing one base as a Terran, there's only a couple of things going to come at you. You're going to get Banshees, you're going to get Reapers,
Marines.
you're going to get cheap Marines, you know, and you can if you've only got a couple of possibilities to prepare for, then it's much easier to defend. And what we've actually got is
Hellions, yeah, he's got 2 factories out very early on, and I think I was talking with him the other day. To support more than one factory, you need to have 2 bases, and yeah, he's immediately gone down for the second.
Yeah, he has indeed.
Second.
It's funny that he didn't go reactor Hellions, because that's always rather than have 2 factories. If he had just built this reactor and then switched it, he could have got his way out there. Because all he really wants to do is produce two Hellions, maybe 3 Hellions early doors, unless he's going pure mech, just to keep his opponent honest. Just get him off Lings, get him to build something else apart from Lings.
That's right, yeah.
Make sure he gets speed and commit money in the units rather than just macroing up, especially if you're not going to go for an early push like it doesn't seem like Ant is.
Yeah, we've actually got ZagZag's Overlord walking into the base at the moment. I say walking, floating into the base at the moment. He's seen one gas. Quick poke, you can see a factory, so he knows something is up. He knows that it's not going to be a
one factory, yeah. In fact, is he going to see? If he sees quickly to see the starports going down, I've just went his vision. There's 2 of them going down, so we might be going for Hellion drops, which will be very interesting actually.
That'd work out very well in Antman's favour.
Well,
so yeah, if you get into the back there.
He's not prepared for this Ling Rush. If he goes now, he doesn't have it.
Oh, I think it's just.
What are you waiting on?
He's just waiting out the front. That's a real shame.
For reinforcements, he's got a lot of Lings here, which would clean him out.
He's getting an evolution chamber, so there's no chance of banelings. He's just, I think he's going for an all-in. Well, maybe not an all-in, but a nice heavy attack.
If he had a baneling chamber to back this up, this would be GG.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep, clean it up, tank and all. Take it all.
There he goes. He's learned how to A-click now, which is always a plus side.
The supply depot's down. Don't worry about the supply depot. Just go into the base, take everything. There's Hellions coming. No. Go for the middle line. This will be GG very, very quickly. There we go.
The SCVs have been pulled.
You can take down the 2 Hellions very, very quickly here as well. Yep, they're gone. Surely.
He's got medevacs out, but it's too little too late. I'm surprised that ZagZag's managed to get in with this. Although
supply depot down, it was cardinal error. He's got an R20 at Zerglings going here. I mean, the SCVs have done a decent job getting these out, but Ant has got no money. He has got no units. He
needs to get an SCV out the front and wall in as soon as he can. He's got two orbital command centers as well, where he can throw down up to probably 4 or 5
mules. Yeah.
Mules, and here comes a load more Zerglings in, and Antman seems to have spotted it straight away because those medevacs moving straight back. Well, he's throwing down a bunker in his main, and the natural is now being attacked.
Yeah, there we go.
See, there's too little, too late. He needs a few more. Well, he needs a wall up really. One wall up and about 2 Marines would have covered that whole attack, I think. It's a real shame.
So minerals, pull them. So keep chipping away. ZagZag actually, you know, he's taking the time to spend his macro. He's got so much money. He's got a macro hatch down, which is the right thing. He can throw out another one. But this game,
he's spending too much time looking at the attacking force, which
they click it. They will do their own damage.
Work on macro, but I mean he is sending up more Zerglings at the moment. I think he's actually putting all of his lava into this. This is a true all-in, I suppose.
It is. You could just macro up here. I mean, he's got the game won if he just builds a couple of drones or if you're throwing down a baneling nest, to be honest.
Availing Nest would have done it. I mean, Antman again seems to have stabilised, but there's a load more Zerglings sitting straight up at the front. I think they're just going to run straight up again.
Indeed. He hasn't even got the SCVs to repair. He's only got 3 SCVs. He's relying on mules.
I think this is turning into a long and painful death for Antman. Actually, I can't see any way he can recover from this.
And
There's
he's been kicking
so
himself
much
because he left the supply depot down.
He did,
He
yeah.
just got a couple of Hellions up behind that and just roasted away at 20, 30 Zerglings in behind it.
I mean, he's got the right idea with the Hellions. The Hellions would have been fantastic, but it's the fact that Zerglings are so mobile. You just can't keep on top of it. He's now trying to repair his orbital command where he actually hasn't got any minerals to cover it. So this is a slow and painful death.
No economy.
No, he's and as we say, ZagZag isn't really macroing all that well, but on the other hand, he's still getting his upgrades.
That the end is near.
Yeah, all he's got to do is just keep applying pressure, and eventually he'll crumble. There's a load more mules coming down, and he's pushing up the front.
He's chipping away at Antman. He knows there's very few SCVs. In fact, in many ways, he's probably wondering why Ant's still in the game here.
That's it. I mean, yeah, he's now taking down the bunker again, and here come a load more Zerglings. The medevacs are all very good, but unfortunately they can't. You know, working with one Marine is not the best way to do it with 2 medevacs.
When that kicks in, I mean, there'll be nothing left. There's 2 command centers on fire here, and he hasn't got any minerals to cover him. Right? Ah, he's being a...
He's lifted off.
He's being an ass.
I can only assume he's in the throes of rage right now. Yeah.
To be fair, he only has himself to blame. I mean, it was his mistake with the supply depot down.
That's right.
But for that, he would have been fine. Nice lift with the siege tank, to be fair.
Yeah. I guess he's trying to do an offensive with one siege tank.
These 2 command centers are going to die before doing
That's right, I think he needs to throw down one of them just to throw down some mules, and although saying that he's only got 24 minerals, there's no way of winning here. If there was an island, possibly, but without an island,
I think he forgot that this game is going to be cast. Oh, poor Ant.
I guess that's it, yeah. I mean,
he's an ass.
Try to grief as many people as he can before he finishes. I've seen it multiplayer in games with like 4 or 5 people as well. He'll happily stay as long as he has to, or as long as he can. More Zerglings coming in, and I think ZagZag's going to have to think about a Spire very soon. So I've got medevacs attacking.
He's there already. He should have a medevac. He's got that many minerals. We don't need to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, can't.
Yeah,
form. GG. There you go.
There you go.
So,
well, that was a slow and painful death. I think it was over about 6 or 7 minutes ago, actually. As soon as it went into his base, it was pretty much all over from that point. All ZagZag had to do was just constantly produce Zerglings.
That was exactly it, and that game was all over. So we're gonna have a rubber game.
Woo. Yeah, but I tell you what, this tournament is really interesting. There's not many games that are actually just 2-0s. It's mostly I think there's probably an even split between 2-0 and best of 3.
Mm-hmm. There's been very few just complete walkovers. Like the one you probably highlighted there, Fears appeared that way, but he could so easily have lost the first game and probably should have lost the first game to ZagZag at that time.
He got a bit lucky with ZagZag not A-clicking, and the positioning of his units was
Indeed, but on such fine things, games are won and lost. So he's actually shown himself to be fairly handy here. Can certainly cause problems. What do you expect out of both players at the end? What do you think about Antman? What do you think he'll do last game?
I think Antman will probably go for a nice solid build. I don't think he's going to try and cheese. I think he needs to go for a solid build and just make up for the mistake he made in the last game. Make sure he's covered, keep a bit of scouting on so you can see when they're coming at him. And as soon as he can see those Zerglings coming, throw up your supply depot, because that was the main... That was the linchpin. If he had left that supply depot up and a couple of Marines behind it, that's all you need to stop about 20 Zerglings.
That's exactly it. So I think he'd probably get his MMR build going, rely on the fact that he probably feels he's better macro. Over the course, based on what he's seen. Although ZagZag's definitely showing that he has a macro style in him here.
Oh, absolutely! With the first game and getting 3 bases so early on, yeah, that's we can see a good potential for a very long game here.
Indeed. If I was Zag, I would definitely go Banelings this time.
Yes, it's been Marines every time so far. There's no reason not to, and even if he gets the Hellions, the Banelings work against Hellions as well. They're just so dangerous.
Indeed. So I'd be expecting that to wall off quite successfully. Doing like I'd be throwing Baneling and try and hit him about 6 or 7 minutes with a couple of Banelings just to throw him off his game and see what he's got, see what he's doing. So to the game we go.
Map. I'm all loaded up and ready to go as always, but I will say Steps of War. Now that is a huge advantage for a Terran. Probably not on our level though. On the pro level, the pros never liked it because obviously Terran had a huge advantage due to the sheer sort of the heights, the levels of where you can throw down siege tanks and you could just keep everywhere covered at all times. And Zerg had such a horrible time trying to be able to sort of see exactly where everything is and being able to attack at that range. The siege tanks just really did dominate this map.
The other thing about it is that the base is so big that if for Zerg to creep spread all over that, can just drop anywhere and walk into the base. Find the path
that's right,
covered and just walk in and do ferocious amounts of damage, etc.
Unless you're going to throw down a couple of creep tumors at the side, it's going to be a lot slower on the creep spread. So yeah, there's possibility of all sorts of things.
So it would have been Antman's choice, absolutely.
Oh yes, well he was the loser, so I've got no doubt this was his choice.
This was his choice. So he's done his homework a little bit, maybe, on seeing Terran favourite mobs, etc. And so for that very reason, we'll probably expect him to go siege tank, etc. Okay.
I would have thought so, yeah.
So let's see. We will hit play in 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off.
Away. So
you got ZagZag in the top right is the blue Zerg. Starts to move to his Overlord. There he goes. And the bottom left we've got the purple Terran of Antman.
Yeah, the Overlords with the OP Overlords as they're called now. With the rocket boosters and the
they've got map hacks. They've got map hacks.
They got the speed increase in the last big patch, as well as the queens, which everybody's complaining about.
They have, yeah.
I actually feel like the game's quite well balanced at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's only ever got better. Although I have to admit, having queens that are that fast and that dangerous now,
it's the ground range. They've been able to deal with Hellions that much better and deal with scouting or denying scouting, should I say, that much better.
That's right, and it holds off so much earlier cheese. It's a real plus because I mean, if you look at the average length of a game, I imagine it's changed considerably since when it first came out.
Although it's funny, I'm watching some of GSL. There's been an awful lot of all-ins now, though. Instead of just cheese pressure, it's been all-in pressure. So the 8-minute timing push has become really, really prevalent for Terran and for Protoss, etc. To really, let's hit that. And they're causing problems for all races. Even my hero Stefano is having really great problems now with the Sentry Immortal builds that are coming his way. He's lost 4 in a row to it in big major tournaments. So I mean, I think the game's well balanced at the moment, and I think the quality of play is just going up and up and up. That's such a fun game to watch at the moment. Absolutely.
I mean, as one thing you can be said, I mean, if you look at the total number of races you have in each of the tournaments, they're almost dead even nowadays. That it used to be there was 20 Terran, 1 Zerg, and 5 Protoss. That's literally how the GSL's going for about 5 or 6 seasons, and now it's actually the other way around. I think there's less Terrans than Zerg or Protoss. I think there's more Protoss than anyone else.
Feels like that, and what it's actually showing is that the best players are sticking around longer, I think.
As people work out the game, I mean, I think if you look at the first couple of seasons of GSL, the Zerg was so dominant just because people had worked them out a bit earlier, which is strange actually, because most people always thought the Terran were OP, but it's actually because they're easier to sort of work out how they play in your head, whereas Zerg from the first game were a lot more straightforward, a lot more like Terran in that way.
So Zag's doing a full scale scout at this base.
Yeah, he's thrown down his expansion already. He's well on the way to getting that, and he's going straight in with his Overlord. Straight to have a look and see if there's, any gas, which there isn't at the moment, which is a very big tell.
Is he gonna see? He sees there's no. Oh, he's obviously not that concerned. Antman's done the same build again. Oh, so he's going for his 6.
Yeah. That's 5. Yeah, 5 barracks. That's a huge amount of barracks. He's going to push straight in there again.
If ZagZag was watching, he will have noticed that Antman pulled an awful lot of SCVs off the line there. So even though he hasn't got visibility of it,
he could be thinking immediate attack.
Yeah. And if he has that, except he's not really doing an awful lot about it. He's got his expansion up. He hasn't got enough gas here to throw down a baneling nest, or even a spine crawler.
Yeah, he needs to stop on his macro and move straight into defense, because this could be a major problem for him.
It hasn't registered with him. It does, as you can see, Antman's concentrating on supply depots at the moment. That's his focus, on making sure he doesn't get supply blocked off all these barracks.
Yeah, the base of a good rush is to make sure you can keep on producing units, and that's what you do. You build 2 supply depots at any one time, especially when you've got that many racks. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rack barracks, constantly pumping out Marines. This is going to be a very heavy push.
And the thing about it is, it's very much an all-in, because if it doesn't come off...
you're so far behind that there's nothing to fall back on. He hasn't got another back expansion down. There's no gas. There's nothing you can really do other than hold down the A button, build more Marines, and hope it works.
For the main, he probably should.
Yeah, I'd go. Oh no, he's pulling back a bit, and he's going straight for the Queen.
And he's going straight for the hatch. Oh, there's a second Queen in line. Except he targets down the hatch.
There we go. He's now taking the Queen.
Yeah, Queen's taken down. So Zag was going for a 3 Queen or 4 Queen style to hold up early pressure.
Yep, he's now building a lot of zerglings, 20 zerglings on the go.
So he's running in the main. There's an awful lot of Marines here. He doesn't have the amount to cope with it.
Yep, he's now got all of his rally points set up, so he has got 20 zerglings there, but I just don't think you can take on that many Marines with that many zerglings.
He hasn't got the economy now for it. And,
no.
He needed just a couple of spine crawlers, or a couple of banelings. Would have been exactly what he wanted. He just didn't see it. He just didn't see the Marines getting pulled.
It's a real shame. Again, Antman just seems to be walking straight up the front here, and more zerglings. This is already over. I mean, without a baneling nest, there's no real answer to this many Marines. You can't produce enough just because you don't have enough larvae.
It's a real shame. I mean, one of those you could say it's a cheese build or whatever, but ZagZag could have scouted it. You know, it's just been done in the previous game. It wasn't a one-off ladder game. Could have expected it somewhere along the way. I mean, he did the right thing. He pulled his Overlord in. He just, the timing just beat him on it. It's
a real shame. And now, if you look, Antman's getting a mana bunker. A completely unnecessary.
He only had one. Actually, in many ways, the bunker is what saved this. You know, solidified the victory for him. Just being able to just pull people into the bunker. And he just streams more Marines in. It's a good move, actually.
He's streaming more Marines in. There's actually a huge stockpile of Marines back at his base. I think he actually missed the rally point.
I mean, GG. It is pretty cheesy.
Yeah, that it was cheese, but on the other hand, has anyone seen Antman do cheese before? I mean...
Well, it's a legitimate way to play the game. I mean,
it is. And if you can't beat cheese, then you're going to have to expect to be cheesed. Everyone's playing to win, and as much as I don't like cheesing, I mean, it is a legitimate tactic. If anyone played me, the first thing you'd think was, there's no way he's going to cheese, so I'm just going to macro up.
That's exactly it.
Which is probably to my detriment, actually. But yeah, that's. A real shame for ZagZag there.
As it goes, if you hold it off, you've won the game nearly yourself. If you've been able to see it at any point and hold it off, you've won the game. So cheese, in its own way, is the biggest failing of an awful lot of players as well. There's an awful lot of players you'll see playing ladder and they only play cheese. They're never going to get any better. I mean, what's What's the point in doing that week in, week out? In tournament kind of style play, yes. Throwing a cheese build to keep the opponent guessing.
Oh yeah, throwing one every 10 games is enough to throw anyone off. It's yeah, I mean, the players that are sitting there in platinum and diamond just from using cheese, I mean, I wouldn't get any gratification out of that. I'd find that the same as pulling down the console and typing in IDKFA. it's just a cheat. It really is. You know, I mean, how are you supposed to get better just by cheesing all the time? I mean, it's a legitimate tactic, but if you're going to be doing it all the time, then I wouldn't get anything out of it, because I want to feel like I'm actually improving as a player every game I play.
But this is the difference between tournament play and ladder play, and as it is, Antman's pulled out 2 victories out of the bag here with just straight up.
With cheese, yeah. I mean, ZagZag, I think if he was going to go into a longer game, both games, he would have actually done better than that. Yeah. So Antman has now pushed on. Who's he actually playing against next?
Playing against Advay.
Advay is next, is he?
Next.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting game, because now Antman has shown that he can cheese. I think Advay is going to be prepared for anything.
He is.
I think that should be a very interesting game.
The thing in the tournament, people have to keep on switching up styles, because if you play the one style, people they mightn't just prepare for it, build for it every time, but they prepare for it, and they make sure they scout. They know the things to look for in scouting. They can look and see the timings that came by, etc., and they know what to do.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, because there's only a limited amount of people in this tournament, there's only so many videos you can watch with the other player, and from whatever you've seen them play, I mean, obviously with Antman, he's now gone 50-50, either both down the macro route and one down the cheese route.
Well,
you have to sort of prepare for both.
He hasn't played a proper out macro style, which is the style he normally plays. To be honest, when we play with him, he normally plays a straight all up, you know, a similar style to yourself in many ways, is what he normally play. But
yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I mean, when he was playing against me, I think both the games that we had, that he was both playing a macro sort of game, and his macro is actually extremely good. As I say, I was completely thrown off guard, and I was very lucky to win the first game that him and me played. And you know, now he's showing that he can cheese very well as well. It's actually quite a worrying prospect. He could go into the next game with you know, the meta game will really kick into play, especially against Advay.
So we've got Advay coming up against Antman. I really can't wait for that one, actually, because ZagZag's definitely improved very much as a player, but I think Advay's the superior player out of the two of them. And,
yeah. I think Advay's probably been training ZagZag, because ZagZag showed a lot more promise there than he did in the previous game.
I think ZagZag should stick at it. You know, I really think there's a really pretty good player there. They're coming out.
Absolutely, he just needs a bit more practice. It's as soon as he can get the early game down and be able to constantly apply pressure. It's just a matter of laddering more. That's all. And
working on the scouting, and he'll be flying.
That's it. I mean, with the two players that have actually been knocked out of the tournament so far, it's just because they haven't had. Well, I mean, with Shatners, he hasn't had a chance to really play the long games and or play a lot more. And then obviously ZagZag just needs a bit more practice. So, yeah. And as I say, a lot more of the games are coming very much, you know, a lot closer to each other in sort of quality. I mean, it's, you know, 2 to 3 each time. I mean. 2 wins out of 3. It seems to be, well, you know, obviously go to the third game. I think it's brilliant, especially with the amount of players we've got here. And we all thought there's going to be, you know, this person's clearly going to win the whole tournament. Indeed. I don't think it's like that at all. I think any one of us that's left over from this point onwards can truly go through to win the whole thing.
I think it's quite funny, because I admit, before the tournament started, I thought, God, you know, there's some players that are easily better than the other ones, but from watching the games and actually analysing some of the games and looking at some people's play, you're looking at going, you know, I really can't have them. I need to execute, and I, you know, need to do this, that and the other, but I can beat them. I can see how I can beat them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So I think the next game we're going to have coming up will be myself against Diver.
Yes. I've been training Diven. He's Team Tilt, and I tell you what, he is going to put up a good fight. This time he has actually had some practice, so this time he really will make you worry. I hope. I really hope.
I am legitimately a bit worried about Diver, as I do think
we all know.
Player, and
he is.
I know the style that he's classically known for, etc., etc. So I've been working on a few things myself, you know, just in general play, not not been working, not to give too much away, but I haven't been working on cheese builds, etc. But just general facets of my own game. That's the other thing this tournament's really done, is maybe focus in and look at and examine my own game as to where I could be better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I often find it very frustrating to watch replays myself, just because you watch a replay of yourself and think, why aren't I doing that? Why aren't I doing that? Why aren't I doing that? But I mean, within the realms of what you can actually achieve while you're playing the game, seeing clear things like, for example, leaving a supply depot down when you shouldn't have done, that's you know, those sort of things you can brush up on, you can improve.
When you look back and you think I lost because I didn't build enough units or something, and then you look at it and go, you know what, one bunker, or I pulled an SCV there and that game would have been an easy victory. You know, it comes down to such minutia in the game that
oh, it's complete chaos theory if you go into it. I mean, you know, if he hadn't have done this one thing, then this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened. It spirals out of control. So that's another one of the fantastic things about StarCraft. There's so much versatility in all of the units and the way that each species plays. There's just so much opportunity for you know, different builds to come out. And yeah, it's certainly this tournament, I think, has actually showed that. You know, even at the lower level sort of play that we're all at, it's really shows that people do improve, and the quality of play can improve drastically.
And I think we are all improving. So that's that for this game, and yeah, we'll see where we go from here. Hotting up again. I know you're playing your semi-final soon against Kindler, which
I am. Yes, however,
first game of 5 as well.
It will be, but I think we should probably cast that one just as everyone else gets up to the same sort of place in the tournament.
I think so as well. We'll hold off, and I'll certainly not look at any results, etc., until everybody gets caught up, etc. And yeah, so it's all getting very interesting. So thanks, Till, for coming along and helping me today.
Not a problem.
And
if I was a bit more sober, it might be better. But you know,
I think you've done fine.
I've got to go. I've got to go and drink. It's the way I play. It's the way I do everything. Well, you should hear my rage. In fact, you've heard my rage when I get drunk.
We all do this as a very social experience anyway. That's what it's supposed to be. You know?
Oh, it's just chilling and drinking the beer and watching a couple of games and having a chat. So
anybody else wants to get involved with us on Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, any of those nights, you know, they're more than welcome to give us a shout on Twitter or at the site or whatever in the comments. And yeah, you can join in. We are a social bunch, and yeah, the more the merrier. Yeah.
If you have a look at scrunchable.cadaver.com, there's actually I think it's a feed of all of your tweets, actually. Your tweets and Antman's tweets and Sayem's tweets. So, yeah, it's just at us, and there's no doubt we'll respond.
Indeed. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys later.